the beginning of the end. So I'm a little over 200 pages into this, so about 20%. It's kind of hard now to like give like I want to give like a significant update because y'all been here for a while. You know these Hobb vlogs can go quite extensive. I can get quite introspective. Book 2 in the Fool and the Fitz trilogy, which is the last trilogy in the Realm of the Elderlings. I'll link my Realm of the Elderlings playlist in the cards above and the description below. This is going to be a spoiler-free vlog, as the title probably says. Hobb got me at just all. This picks up immediately after book 1, Fool's Assassin. I'm at the stage in the game now where it's gonna have to take... I've cried so many tears over the course of reading this series. At the end of Fool's Assassin, there was such sorrow, and it was like this impending doom for Fitz. This thing out that was happening that kind of had been chasing him the whole time. And I just got to the part where recognition that he has deserved over his whole life. I mean, it's like 40 years in the making for the recognition that he receives, but also in the same token, such great sorrow and such a great burden that he now has to embark on a quest. And it's the quest of all quests. And in one hand, I am so happy for him because he's deserved this measure of recognition, level of prestige, I would say too. But also, Hobb has foreshadowed tragedy, and it's kind of the first time for me that I've picked up on it where she has foreshadowed something and then you're expecting to see it, but it doesn't come for like hundreds of pages later, or even maybe even a book later. But immediately in this series, she has put forth, there's something that's foreshadowing, and I'm going to drag it out, and I'm not going to let you forget about it. Because while you see Fitz in celebration and recognition and just having such healing and actually a chapter closing on his life, there is great trial and desperation and loss, terror that he has yet to discover. And as the reader, we know what's about to happen. I am very shocked at Fitz's response. I can tell we're with an older Fitz. Back in the day when he was younger, he killing everybody. But here he has like paused. He hasn't let his emotions kind of drive his decisions. He's really endeavoring to keep a clear head. Mature Fitz is here. It took him to be 60-some years old to get there, but such is life, right? I was so touched and moved by how recognition came for him and for other people that are around him. Penny, let me know how I'm doing with the spoiler-free discussion, okay? Once again, Robin Hobb just has a way of making everything meaningful, every scene, every conversation so palpable and deserved and just worth the experience of reading. This is so rewarding to read because as Fitz starts to recap a lot of the things that he's experienced in his life, all of the tragedy that he's encountered, you get the reward. Like Hobb could say he went skipping in the park, but you know who he was skipping with. You know what the park looked like that day. You know what he wore. You know what he was feeling in his heart. You know all the enemies that he's having. Fitz ain't just skipping the park, but I can't say what he actually all did. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a couple minutes for you, but best believe it's at least 2-3 weeks for me. Okay, so I'm on chapter 13. One thing that's standing out about this book, all the secrets are coming out now. Like for so long, I had wondered what was going on with some of these characters, especially Fitz's mentor. We'll just say that. And I wanted to understand why he navigated through his life the way he did. And he was always such an elusive character. We'll just say who it is, Shade. But all of Shade's secrets are coming out now, and I'm here for it. Have a deeper understanding of his motivations, especially from years ago. Seeing him in a new way and understanding that he was just as much of a victim as Fitz chivalry. Man, that's such nuance. Like even now, like exploring these characters after all of these years and seeing the depth of them, human complexity, right? There's just so many layers to us. And as time goes on, we venture into like unpacking those things or not unpacking them. And Shade, to see his resourcefulness, his vengeance,
his vindictiveness, and he's so shrewd. So seeing both him and Fitz actually agreeing, they stay not agreeing, and they are actually working together after so many years, it's just. So once again, Robin Hobb is adding in that character complexity, and I'm here for it. Let's face it, 15 pages in Hobb is literally like reading 200 pages in a book. I'm not even that far. I'm gonna keep reading, and I'll come back in days, child.
6 months later.
Lots of feeling, because Robin Hobb's still gonna tell you how she wants you to feel. You gonna be telling her what you want to do and what you want. She dragging you by the collar all the way through. So first, the annotations. Come on. I'm not gonna tarry long, y'all, because at this stage in the game, I'm kind of in denial and I really don't know how this is gonna end. I don't even know where to start. These are some incoherent thoughts. But if you've read this, you already know where I'm at. Fitz has taken all the L's for the Six Duchies, all of them. We're gonna get Fitz to sacrifice his stuff before we do anything. That's kind of how the politics and the war games have been in the Six Duchies. Such a heaviness in this story. I had a lot of dread, emotional dread. And for the first time in this series, I really felt Robin was actually dragging things out. And she dragged it out not by foreshadowing like what she normally does, but Fitz doesn't know. It was so daring. There are some new characters that come on page that we have a lot more information about, and I really like the new character. If you know, you know. This character was actually introduced in the beginning of this series, and so we're still following this character. You can definitely see the process of time on a lot of the characters, on a lot of Fitz's family members. You can feel the finality of this story. You can feel a lot of the joyful moments that happen. There was a lot of congruency with a lot of things that happened, even from the very first series, even when we're first introduced to Fitz in the Farseer series. And the quest part, definitely giving quests. And it wasn't just Fitz that went on a quest. There were a lot of different quests that were happening, but they all had great significance. I really loved that Fitz got his roses and his flowers, and then also seeing Fitz navigate politics in the front. The new king of the Six Duchies wants to run the kingdom now, and how politics have changed over 40 years, and how found family has changed, and how even the Farseer lineage has changed, and secrets are not as secretive anymore. You know, the truth is coming out about a lot of the things that occurred to Fitz, a lot of the situations that surround him, a lot of the mystery. One thing that was definitely new about this was the fact that we actually got into Fitz's mind about his assassin stuff, because this whole time he would say he was slicing and dicing folk, but it wasn't descriptive. We get old man Fitz on a quest of revenge, and it's giving that graphic, grimy dark. I was taken aback. And so Robin can write those scenes, the aftermath of battle and torture. There's a reason why he out in these streets with different names. I'm just saying. I took for granted that information. Seeing the totality of who he has grown to be is just so rewarding. Actually reading the last book right now, and I'm not that far. I've only read about 30 pages into Assassin's Fate, which is the final book in this series, and I'm not gonna cry because I've been with Fitz for so long. And when I think about this series, I think about where I was even in my life, even in my spiritual walk with the Lord. I mean, things that I navigated through the past 3 years was just insurmountable. And so I found a lot of comfort in reading Fitz's journey, and seeing all of that converge in this book was just amazing. I could definitely feel the finality of where I am. She does explore why they may take on certain identities for survival. It's a very interesting perspective. I would say quite controversial depending on who the reader is. I think for me, it was just very nuanced, and it wasn't offensive. It made sense in the scale and the scope of this world. And it was just so satisfying to see a lot of those threads and a lot of those pieces that Robin Hobb had put out there years ago, technically in this series, and seeing her weaving them together so beautifully, so intricately, so masterfully. It was just so emotionally hard-hitting. My emotions are in the gut. The last 25% of this book was just it definitely pulled at my heartstrings, but also maybe for reasons that I'm fully not aware of right now, because I'm getting nervous and I don't know how this is going to end. There's so many questions I still have, so many things that have been unanswered, and only Robin Hobb could do that. I mean, 16 books, 3 years in the game, and there's still so many questions that I have. She's a master. We appreciate my sponsor out here in these streets, Penny, and my co-sponsor, Emily. I really appreciate you guys just being in the struggle with me. Padawans, if you're on your journey, you're reading Farseer, I'm here for you. You know, I do got a couple of slots available pretty much to spend in all my other books, and I'm going to dedicate myself into the entire month of December to finish the last and final book. I really did this for me because I wanted to document my journey that I had no idea was going to be an adventure of a lifetime. No one does it like Robin Hobb. Once you read a Robin Hobb book, everything else kind of pales in comparison. I'm just saying, that's just the truth of the matter. Of course, I gave Fool's Quest 5 stars. We're in the end game now. It's going to be really hard to say goodbye, but it's on deck. Let me know your thoughts down below. Have you read Fool's Quest? Do you plan on reading Robin Hobb? Stay tuned to the channel. More Hobb content coming. May the Lord bless and keep you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. And I'll see you in the next one. I'll see you in the last one. Bye.